This video is kind of all over the place. There's several projects in the video. I don't even remember. It's been so crazy. I don't even remember if I did an intro to the video. So I'm sitting down to do an intro right now. Enjoy it because it's all over the place. Second progress video on the van for whatever day it is. Today's gonna be an interesting day because I'm just gonna do a whole bunch of like little stuff. Not the whole video. I'm gonna film the whole all week and then I'll just throw it into one. But this is project number 1. Actually, I'm gonna do it 2 because whatever, but I'm gonna show you this one first. I had this little guy open. Actually, the door was open. This was the one thing I was like, I don't know if I want to put it here because of this. I had this open like that, right? And I closed the door and it hit that and broke it all to hell, which was my fault. You know, it is what it is. So on the next one that I got, I ordered the same thing, even though it doesn't have a spring. I didn't know if the hole was going to be different, if I ordered a different brand or whatever. So I just got the exact same one. And what I'm going to do is probably put something up here so the door won't go as high as it did, because it was all the way up and you can see like that will hit. And I might drill a little hole and put a spring right here just to kind of pull it down. It doesn't even have to pull it down tight, but like, I don't know. I think if I just make it so it doesn't open as far, I think I'll be fine, because then I can go into it with the door and I don't have to worry about it. But you know, whatever. That's gonna be project 2. Project 1, this isn't really a screw up of mine, it was just a miscalculation. I've got this hole that I drilled for the drain on the freshwater tank, and it's big enough for this. In case this happens to move, which I don't think it will, but it might, like in an accident, a small fender bender maybe, or we're on a rough road and the van's doing this, you know how stuff moves. I don't want a hard line going through here being so tight that somehow it can break my plumbing and then it dumps my 32 gallons of water all over the floor. So I've got this. I went and bought this little PVC coupling, and I'm going to put that through the floor, and then this will sit inside of that. That way I can run a barb, which it still could break, but I can always lift this up a little. I'm more concerned about if this fitting leaks, it'll get in the wood here. And then the van floor is right down in there, and if water gets in there, then it's going to be under the subfloor, and I don't want that. So I'm going to put this in there, I'm going to glue it in place, so even if the fitting that screws into here, no matter what I use, if it leaks, the water is just going to go through the van, and it's not going to, like, if I just left it like this, you know, it could get in there. So that's the plan, but I have to open that hole up. Thankfully, I watched a cool TikTok video that lets you put, it shows you can put 2 of these on one and use the old hole for the guide, which is pretty handy because I don't know how many times I've drilled too small hole. And then I try to, you got to screw something on the bottom of it and center it up. It's a pain in the ass. And then I don't know if I'll get to this today, but for the cruising comfort install that we're going to do, video coming later, I'm going to do the same thing with this for these hoses that go through the floor on that. That way, I mean, this is where my wood's going to sit, and that's where that's going to be. So it's going to be very tight, but I think I'm fine because I might change the way I'm doing this framing and come all the way out to here, which gives me all the way out to here, and then I don't have to worry about it. That's where I'm at. I'm going to try to drill a hole so this line can go through, the other line can go through, and then one of these wires has to go down there too to get to the condenser that's under the van to run the fans. Anyway, I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'm going to get to that today because I kind of have to figure out my framing. I have to nail down my framing, exactly what I want to do, because I don't want to drill a hole and then have to change something later and I'm stuck with a 2-inch hole in my floor that I can't move. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Let's do this one first. All right, if you're not on TikTok, or you don't want to be on TikTok, or you don't know about this, we're gonna do a little learning today. I don't know if you can see my whole face or not. So you put the bigger hole saw on your arbor. Right, so that's the hole you want, but you already have a hole in there. So you take the smaller one as long as the arbor is the same size and there's enough threads, oh God, this one's not gonna work. It is not quite, if it's not such a, this is only an 1/8 of an inch. So if it was like a 1/4 of an inch, it would fit inside of the other one. And then you use that for a guide. But since I can't do that, this is going to suck. I think I'm just gonna wing it. It's just a drain hole, so it's not that important anyway. Oh, you know what sucks about that is, all right. Okay, new plan. I took my new bit and I drilled through a 2x4, and then I shoved that plug in there. So now I have a center again, and that should allow me to do this. We'll see. Oh yeah, baby. Boom. I'll glue it in, put some sealant around the top and bottom, and it's sticking through just about perfect. Oh, that's beautiful. Good job, Brian. I'm an idiot, I know. It looks pretty good. I'm not gonna glue it in yet because I decided I'm gonna redo this, get rid of this hard line, and just go like a barb into a hose from there. That way I don't have to line that up completely. And it's three less potential places to leak. So we're gonna come back to this. I'm gonna go to the shore power thing. And I'm pretty sure I didn't even film this the last time I did it because I was like, well, that's gonna be a boring video. Here we are. The universe has smited me and said, you're filming it, bro. It's harder this time because I had to cut all my hitch wiring off. So that's fun. It's not that bad though. Did I grab the right bit? I did, but I don't have the right drill. BRB. Like I said, the reason I got the same exact one, even though it's a little chintzy, I wanted to make sure this hole didn't change and these holes didn't change because that's in my van. So it's kind of permanent. I almost didn't put it here because of that. I wanted to put it underneath in like a box, but the box was just going to be too big and it was probably just going to collect all kinds of road debris. So I opted to do this. We're not even on the road yet and I broke it. So we'll see how this works. I suppose at some point I might end up changing it out for a stronger one or something different. I could get a new corner piece and go a different route. Go underneath like I originally planned. What a pain in the ass. She's in. Good as new. Now, I'm just gonna throw all this stuff back together, put the bumper cover on, tighten that down. And then I think I'm gonna start plumbing. I know I haven't finished the other thing, but I want to finish my plumbing and get this tank filled up with water. I'll be honest with you, I've spent the better part of 2 days not doing anything. It's been lazy. But I shouldn't say I haven't been doing anything. I've been designing a bench for this area. So technically I was sitting on my butt, but I was still like doing stuff. But here's what I've come up with. That's my very crude drawing with not accurate numbers. Sorry, I'm eating. But I'm gonna put that there and another one there. And we've kind of changed this whole area. We were originally gonna have a seat here against, so the back was here, facing forward, with a table mounted here that could swing out, right? And then this could swing around. We could eat lunch there, whatever. We can work off that table. There's not a lot of room there, A. B, we're putting cabinets up here, which are gonna protrude out to about there. And C, my light switch for the living room and shower is gonna be like right in this general area, which is right where your body is gonna be. So you technically only have about maybe 10 inches to lean your back against, by the time you get the cabinet in here and all the other crap. So we made the executive decision to go back to our original plan and have the back of the bench on that wall with the whole seat covering this entire area, looking out the door. Which that's how we originally wanted to do it anyway. So like if we were in a cool place, we could sit there and work, whatever we wanted to do, and look out at the scenery. But for some reason we changed it. I think we saw one online that we were like, maybe we should do that because it's not really wide enough for 2 people, but we can fit, especially if we lose a little weight, especially if I lose a little weight.
I'm sorry. Did he just say we?
Just kidding. Let's back that up. We think we can make it work. So that's what I've designed, and I'm gonna transfer that dimension over to some cardboard and just kind of get a feel of what it looks like. The downside of it is like this chair, you're only gonna be able to spin it about that far, and you won't really be able to use the table at the same time another person is. It's train time apparently. So while the train's blowing its horn, I'm gonna go make this out of cardboard. Okay, update. I've got my seat cut out of cardboard. The only caveat is where the wall starts to curve in here. So that's kind of how it'll go. We decided instead of doing a 4-inch cushion, we're gonna do a 3-inch, like higher density cushion. So it shouldn't sink as far, and that gives me a little more support, so it'll be easier to sit down.
No, it's a video for the YouTubes.
Oh.
What you got here?
Welcome to my bench. My first product of wood that I've built since the 90s.
Looks great.
It actually turned out really nice. I mean, so far. I haven't really sat in it yet, but it looks comfortable.
We have like 4 pieces to go, right?
Yeah, we're gonna put one piece here, and then this will hinge up, so we can use this for storage. We had to put this in because it was like, we decided to change the seat to 1/2 inch, and it was kind of given a little bit. So that's gonna kind of get in our way, but it won't be that bad. But this piece will hinge up so we can put clothes in there, and then we'll cover this back in and we'll be good. The unboxing. Flat-jack camper leveling pads. Dose. Powder-coated bracket number 1. Powder-coated bracket number 2. The gray tank. Okay, I'm going to give you guys just a quick rundown of what this is, what it does, why I got it. I'm not going to show the install because that's honestly it's kind of boring and it's under the van, so it's going to be hard to film anyway. But I'll link down in the description where I got it, and they have an install video. If you're interested in doing your own van and you're kind of at this point, you can follow that link. So I'll start with the tank itself. Okay, it's a 26-gallon gray tank, and it's made to fit underneath the Ram Promaster. You can have them custom put in any ports anywhere. You can have it here, here, there's one on the back, you can have one each over there. I had one in the middle on both sides, and it's also got 3 vents on the top, but I think you're supposed to add another vent to that also. And then it's got a 3-inch dump valve. This is a motorized valve, so I haven't looked at the wiring yet, but it doesn't look too complicated. I'm gonna wire this up to our Serbo GX, and we have a touch screen. So what I'm going to do is hook it up to the relay in that. On the touch screen I can just hit dump gray tank and it'll just open this valve, and I can do that from the screen in the van, or I can do it from my phone outside of the van, whatever. I almost got a 3/4 inch drain, but I figured it would probably take a really long time to drain, so I went with the 3-inch, especially with all of this stuff. It's probably going to be a little hair in there, so I figured a 3/4 would probably plug. That's about it. I'm going to get started putting this thing in. I have to drill a couple holes under the van and use a riv nut gun. It's going to kind of suck, but I'll let you know when it's done. Okay, I finally got this thing in. It is the next day. It took all day to do it, and I did a couple other things while I was under the van. So I just wanted to show you guys quickly what it looks like. The final thing I did was glued this in. I siliconed it in, put a hose clamp on it. I still have to wire it, and then the wire will go up into that hole. That's the drain hole for my freshwater tank, but I'm also going to bring my wiring out that hole so I don't have to cut another hole in the van. But it turned out really, really good. Like this, there's 3 of these straps that are bolted in. There is not a lot of room under this van, but I made it work. I went ahead and did all my shower plumbing. So this comes out. This is a coupling for like a turbo system on a car. I needed to keep, since that port is so high, close next to the van floor, I needed a sharp turn coming out of here, and my pipe that was coming out from my custom shower pan came down kind of far because I wanted to get a clamp on it. But that means that I had to do some kind of weird stuff. But anyway, I got it to work. This is a HEPFO valve, so this is like in place of a P-trap. So instead of a P-trap, I have this. It's got the little port in there. None of the gases can come back in, but water can flow in. And that took way longer than you would have expected. I'm not a plumber, so that didn't help matters, but this is all glued in, and hopefully it works. I haven't tested it. Maybe tomorrow or the next day, when that cures, I can dump some water up in the shower pan and just make sure everything's gonna flow out okay. There you can kind of see how the tank goes clear back. It's kind of nice, and it's very low profile, as you can see. It's actually higher than the exhaust. It's higher than that step. The valve clearance is a little sketch, but really it's not, maybe an inch or 2 lower than the jacking point of the van, and it's definitely higher than the axle itself. So these vans really aren't made for off-roading too much, and we're probably not going to go into too crazy of stuff. Sorry about the wind, by the way. We're going to probably take it on some sketchy roads, but I'll be good. I don't want all this time and effort. I don't want to screw the van up. So, where was I in my train of thought? Dear editor, delete this clip.